All right, let's talk about the billion-dollar question. How do you really win on Google? We're going to skip all the generic advice today and break down the actual math behind getting to the top using a really cool case study. Let's dive in.
It's the question, right? Every single person with a business, a product, a service, they all ask this. You pour your heart into creating something amazing, but then what? How do you make sure people can actually find you? And you've heard this a million times, I'm sure. The standard advice is always, oh, just build a nice, fast website and write some great content. And, it sounds right, doesn't it? It's well-meaning advice, and for some people in some industries, it might even be enough.
But here's the thing. What happens when you're in a really competitive market? I mean, when you're up against dozens of serious players with big budgets. In those situations, just having good content is kind of like bringing a water pistol to a firefight. It's a nice start, but it's just not going to get you the win. So, to understand what it really takes, we're not going to talk theory. We're going to dig into a real-world example. A plastic surgeon trying to get noticed in a place like Los Angeles. This is the nitty-gritty, a strategic breakdown of what actually separates the top spot from everyone else. And here is the absolute key to the whole thing. In any tough market, Google's success basically follows an 80-20 rule. That first 20%, that's your website, your content, the user experience, that's just the ticket to the dance. It's the bare minimum. But the other 80%, the part that actually decides who wins, that all comes down to one thing: backlinks. And those are just links from other websites pointing back to yours. Okay, so we need backlinks. Got it. But this right here is where most people get it wrong. It's not about getting a ton of links. It's about getting quality links. So what does Google actually see as high quality? Well, it really boils down to this simple three-part code: trust, authority, and relevance. First up is trust, and honestly, this is the big one. It's the ultimate gatekeeper. Think about it. If a website gets a ton of traffic from social media, but absolutely nothing from Google search, that's a massive red flag. It tells you Google doesn't trust that site. So any link from them is basically worthless because it can't pass that trust on to you. Trust is everything. Next, we have authority, which is measured by a score called domain rating, or DR. But here's the kicker, the detail you have to understand. This scale is not a straight line, it's exponential. A link from a website with a DR of 70 isn't just 10 times stronger than a link from a DR 7 site. It is literally hundreds of times more powerful. That's a huge difference, and it's why getting just one of these high-authority links is a total game changer. And the last piece of the puzzle is relevance. Is the website linking to you in the same general topic area? A relevant link is like a power-up. It makes a good link even better. But here's a pro tip. If a link has super high trust and super high authority, it's still incredibly valuable, even if the relevance isn't a perfect match. So, we have the code. We know what a good link looks like. Now, what do we do with it? Simple. We stop guessing. We're going to reverse engineer what's already working for the top players and create an actual mathematical blueprint for how to win. And this slide just lays it all out perfectly. On one side, you've got the lazy way. You look at a competitor, see they have 46 links, and you think, okay, I need 46 links. But the strategic approach, you ignore all the junk. You only analyze the links that have real trust and authority. And the conclusion is totally different. You don't need 46 links. You need 21 of the right links. Think of the time and money that saves. And here it is. This is that exact blueprint for our plastic surgeon's homepage. It's not some vague goal. It's literally a shopping list. We need to go out and get 2 links from sites in the DR 30s, 1 in the 40s, 1 in the 50s, and then the heavy hitters, 12 links from super powerful sites with a DR over 60. This is the precise formula to compete. But here's the thing. Chasing those huge homepage links, that's the long game. It's expensive and it's tough. And this is where the real genius of this strategy comes in. The biggest and fastest opportunities are often hidden away on the pages for specific services, where the competition is, well, surprisingly weak. Let's get super specific. Let's look at a search for neck lift in LA. The top 3 results are all what we call inner pages on competitor websites. So how many high-quality, trusted, authoritative backlinks do these top-ranking pages have? Are you ready for this? A big, fat 0. Nothing for all of them. Which means you see where this is going, right? The bar to get in is incredibly low. To absolutely dominate a valuable search term like this one, our surgeon doesn't need to build a dozen links. They just need one
One single, high-quality backlink to their necklift page could be enough to jump right over everyone. And this pattern happens over and over again. Okay, so you're building your blueprint, you're finding these opportunities, and you're starting to climb the ranks. How do you lock it in? How do you protect that top spot? This is where we get into some real pro-level plays.
All right, let's talk about something called Tier 2 links. Most people just focus on Tier 1. That's the link that points directly to you. But the advanced move is to build links to the page that's linking to you. You see? This powers up your original link, making it way, way stronger. It's a secret weapon your competitors will probably never even notice.
Here's another classic mistake I see all the time. It's about the anchor text. The actual clickable words in a link. The lazy thing to do is make the text your exact keyword, like Los Angeles plastic surgeon. But to Google, that just looks fake and spammy. The winning move is to use your brand name for links to your homepage, and for your service pages, use something that's a partial match. It just looks so much more natural, and it works. Now, we've been talking a lot about that 80%, the backlinks, but we can't forget about the other 20%. Because for those powerful links to really work their magic, you gotta have your own house in order.
So, what does in order mean? Well, the data is pretty clear. The top dogs in this space, they have at least 150 pages of content on their site. It signals to Google that they're experts, and they're getting between 300 and 500 people searching for their actual brand name every month. You have to meet these kinds of benchmarks for your link strategy to really take off. And really, this quote from Alejandro Meyerhands just ties it all together perfectly. Stop chasing every single link you can find. Focus on what actually moves the needle. It's about working smarter, not harder. The data shows you probably need less than half of what you think, as long as they're the right ones. So that really just leaves one last question, and this one's for you. Take a look at your own strategy. Are you just kind of guessing and hoping for the best, or are you building a real, data-driven blueprint? Because as we've seen, one of those paths leads to frustration, and the other leads directly to the top.